It now gives me great pleasure to introduce SVA's President, Mr. David Rhodes.
Members of the board, honored guests, faculty, administration, parents, families, and most of all, soon-to-be graduates, I'd like to welcome you again to the School of Visual Arts' 49th formal commencement exercises held in honor of the class of 2024. You came to SVA from 27 states, Puerto Rico, and 33 countries. Thank you for being here today. It's good to see you, and for those following the live stream, thank you for joining us. During the last few weeks at SVA, there have been open studios, end-of-year shows, thesis presentations, and defenses of the work of the class of 2024. By all accounts, the work looks wonderful, and more importantly, those examining the work agree. You have acquitted yourselves with distinction. It would appear that your futures as artists, teachers, and writers are assured. The class of 2024, as you've heard, is often referred to as the COVID class, and for good reason. Many of you had graduations that were remote rather than in person, and for some, graduations were canceled and did not happen at all. So we are particularly pleased that you and your guests are here in person to celebrate this commencement together. Congratulations. Last year, the year of artificial intelligence, AI, I remarked about AI's ability to hallucinate. For example, an attorney tasked AI with preparing his brief in a suit against an airline. The brief was 10 pages, filled with quotations from opinions referenced with citations from cases past. The brief appeared formidable. On closer examination, AI invented the quotations and citations which were otherwise non-existent. It just made it up. To date, no one has been able to provide an explanation for why this happens. So there is not yet a systematic way to prevent the phenomenon. That's a warning about using AI. Therefore, it is somewhat puzzling why researchers would want to use AI to explore questions about ethical conduct. But a professor at Georgia State University asked ChatGPT and a group of undergraduates to answer the same ethical questions. The two sets of answers were presented to another group of students to judge which were the most moral, trustworthy, and virtuous. The ChatGPT answers were preferred to those crafted by the undergraduates. Initially, this seems like a surprising result, but upon reflection, it is actually what one would expect, given the way ChatGPT is trained and the lack of experience of most undergraduates have thinking about ethical questions and consciously modeling ethical behavior. This is not the case with this audience, however, because you have been through the crucible of the critique. When you have to stand and defend your work in front of faculty and, more importantly, your peers, as all of you have done, you are compelled to model ethical behavior. This makes you better prepared than many of the graduates of other institutions for the rigors of life after commencement. ChatGPT was able to craft responses that appeared superior because it had so much more information to draw upon. In other words, ChatGPT is synthesizing the ethical content that all of you know implicitly. It is that common content which we believe has been honed at SVA that is and should be at the core of the work that we hope we will do throughout your lives. If you are working in good faith, your work will be truly truth-directed in a profound sense. Because it is truth-directed, it will also have an ethical center that will be evident to those who look at the work with care. If you spend your life making work of this kind, you will be able to look upon your body of work with satisfaction, knowing that by being faithful to yourself, that you have helped to bend the arc of the moral universe towards justice. Let me close by offering you my congratulations on your graduation and the work that it took to make that achievement a reality. And with these 3 suggestions: whenever you can, help one another. Always be kind to one another. And finally, be kind to yourself. Congratulations again, and thank you.